Welcome to Living History Channel. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on more videos like this one.
1981. Muhammad Ali rushed to a man standing on a ledge, ready to jump. He spoke softly, promising hope, reminding him life was worth fighting for. The man stepped back. That day, Ali's greatest strength was compassion. Stockholm, 1892. One of the earliest gym machines created by Dr. Gustav Zander. A strange mix of science and exercise, it marked the birth of modern fitness when human strength first met mechanical innovation. Wounded Marine Gunnery Sergeant Jeremiah Purdy is guided past a fallen comrade after the brutal fight for Hill 484. Bloodied, exhausted, but still moving. His steps capture the cost of battle and the quiet courage that carried men through Vietnam. A new scientific reconstruction offers a realistic view of what a man from first-century Judea may have looked like. Darker skin, coarse hair, and strong features. Not a miracle, but anthropology revealing a face shaped by history. Not legend. 1891. Sylvain Dornan stunned Europe by walking from Paris to Moscow in just 58 days, entirely on stilts. Through snow, mud, and endless roads, he kept going, a wandering showman who turned a daring stunt into legend. Ahmose I, founder of Egypt's new kingdom, ended Hyksos rule and reunited the land. His mummy, found in 1881 at Deir el-Bahari, now rests in Cairo, a silent reminder of the king who restored Egypt's strength and glory. 1937. At his Moscow country house, Stalin carries his daughter Svetlana in a rare moment of softness. Behind the smile lay one of history's darkest years. A quiet image framed by a storm few could see from the outside. In 2022, a brutal dog attack tore off a young woman's nose, forcing surgeons to rebuild it using a forehead flap and cartilage. After multiple surgeries, her determination turned survival into a powerful story of recovery. 1897. Circus performers. George Moore, the Living Skeleton, and Fred Howe, the Fat Man, posed side by side. Their contrast amazed crowds, a reminder of how curiosity shaped entertainment in a very different era. Robert Wadlow, born 1918, reached a staggering 8 feet 11 inches, the tallest man in recorded history. Still growing at 22 due to excess growth hormone, his life was brief but extraordinary, a rare medical marvel remembered to this day. By the 1930s, chariot racing found a wild revival, this time with motorcycles instead of horses. At the 1936 New South Wales Police Carnival, daredevils sped in metal chariots, blending ancient spectacle with modern danger. Elizabeth Marshall, once a nurse at Ravensbrück, was 61 when she faced the gallows, the oldest female Nazi executed. Behind her uniform hid cruelty that spared no one. Her fate marked a rare moment of justice after so much suffering. On Halloween, 1981, Ronald Sisman and Elizabeth Platzman were found slain in their ransacked Manhattan apartment. Police suspected drugs until a prison informant claimed another inmate had eerily predicted the crime weeks earlier. In 1931, a mysterious trapper known as Albert Johnson sparked a 48-day manhunt across the Arctic. Armed, relentless, and unknown, he evaded officers through brutal cold until a final shootout ended his life. Yet his identity remains a haunting mystery. Circa 1933, Einstein sat with his son Hans Albert and grandson Bernhard at his Kaput summer home. A rare, three-generation glimpse of the man behind the genius, a quiet moment reminding us he was not only a physicist, but a father and grandfather. The face of a soldier after 4 years of war, 1941 to 1945. His eyes carry loss, endurance, and quiet strength. Each line a reminder of the human cost of conflict and the resilience forged in survival. On Iwo Jima's Black Sands, February 23, 1945, Herschel Woody Williams charged pillboxes with a flamethrower, destroying 7 under relentless fire. His courage opened a path for his Marines and earned him the Medal of Honor. 1953. Barbara Graham joined 3 men in a botched robbery that ended with the murder of widow Mabel Monahan. Branded Bloody Babs, she was convicted on witness testimony and executed in 1955. Her final words, "Good people are always so sure they're right." The Battle of Hastings, 1066, Harold's weary army held the hill, but William of Normandy used feigned retreats and a final archer volley to break them. Legend says an arrow struck Harold's eye, ending Saxon rule and reshaping England forever. March-April 1930. Gandhi walked 240 miles in 24 days to defy Britain's salt monopoly. When he lifted a handful of salt at the Arabian Sea, he broke colonial law and ignited a wave of nonviolent resistance across India. 81 years ago, Allied airmen dared the Great Escape. Australian pilot Paul Brickhill, unable to crawl the tunnel due to claustrophobia, helped plan it and later told the world their story. His book preserved the courage of those who never came home. Early 1970s. John Lennon rides his Honda Monkey bike with young Julian. A quiet moment of music's most famous dreamer simply being a father, far from fame, wrapped in the warmth of ordinary life. 1964. Frank Sinatra steps off a helicopter, drink in hand, captured by Yul Brynner's lens. Effortless cool, mid-air swagger, and the kind of charisma only Sinatra could make look this casual. 1981. India's first communication satellite, Apple, was carried on a bullock cart for testing. A humble cart and a high-tech satellite side by side, a powerful snapshot of a nation climbing toward the space age with whatever it had. 1840. The first photograph of a woman, Dorothy Catherine Draper, captured by her brother John at NYU. In soft light and long exposure, her image became a milestone. The moment portrait photography found its first female face. On Halloween night 2004, 2 young women were killed in their Napa home. For nearly a year, the case baffled investigators until Eric Koppel, long avoiding police, finally confessed a reminder that guilt can hide, but never escape justice. Bruce Lee's iron fist wasn't legend, but labor. Years of striking sand, stone, and wood until skin split and calluses formed. Through pain and repetition, he forged hands that felt like weapons. His real power wasn't talent, but relentless will. On Halloween night in 1973, 9-year-old Lisa Ann French of Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, disappeared while trick-or-treating. Her neighbor, Gerald Turner, was later convicted of her murder, earning the grim nickname the Halloween Killer. When people say Halloween used to be scary, they often mean the 1920s and 30s, when homemade masks looked unsettling and celebrations were wild, chaotic, and unpredictable. a holiday of mischief long before costumes became cute. Ashtrays and coin-operated TVs at the Los Angeles Greyhound Terminal, 1969, a snapshot of travel in a lost era when smoke filled the air and a few coins could buy a moment of escape before the next bus rolled in. At dawn on June 6, 1944, Allied forces launched the largest seaborne invasion in history. Paratroopers dropped behind German lines and troops stormed 5 beaches of Normandy, the beginning of France's liberation and Europe's turning point. February 1915. Freed Army nurses stand beneath the palms of Leyte, medals shining after years of captivity in the Philippines. Their faces show relief, resilience, and the quiet strength of women finally going home. After the 1906 quake, a San Francisco street lay in ruins. Soldiers marched between smoke-stained, skeletal buildings as fires raged for 3 days, destroying hundreds of city blocks and reshaping the city forever. 1848. The first newspaper photograph appeared, barricades on Rue Saint-Maur, Paris. Grainy and ghost-like, it captured revolution in motion, the moment journalism stepped from words into images. Young German soldiers marched down Bancoa Street in Laubon, March 1945. Some carrying Mausers, others anti-tank weapons. In the war's final weeks, boys were turned into soldiers as Germany fought its last desperate battles. Female students at the University of New Hampshire train in the snow, 1942. With war reshaping the world, these young women stepped into roles of strength and discipline. Proven determination isn't limited by weather or gender. 1940s, students share a table, books open and pencils moving, pausing only to sip Coca-Cola, a simple scene of study, chatter, and the small treats that made school days feel lighter. 1956. A family rides a Lambretta from Sydney to Paris, 12,000 miles across deserts, borders, and continents. Pausing at the gateway of India, they captured a moment in a journey that tied Australia to Europe on 2 small wheels. Gina Lollobrigida, 1954. Trying on a corset for Il Maestro di Don Giovanni, a glimpse behind the scenes, showing the elegance, discipline, and artistry that shaped one of Italian cinema's brightest stars.
Thanks for watching. I'm always hunting for lost photos and untold stories. Got a time period in mind? Let me know in the comments.